shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your ridge monkey. Ooh, shake your ridge monkey. Hello adventurers and welcome back to my channel. Today I am exhausted and I thought this was a perfect time for me to sit down and try out something just a little bit different. Now, over the time that I have traveled, I have consumed a lot of different kinds of cooking, and I've used everything from a small camping butane stove to my regular butane stove to now the air fryer. But along the way, one of the things I've never looked into is good ways for me to bring a lot more of my food with me. Now, you might have noticed whenever I took off on this journey that I brought two refrigerators. One is dialed into refrigerator mode, one is dialed in to freezer mode. And I wanted to do that to see if I could stretch my budget a little bit further and use things that I already had at my base camp. One of those things that I had was a subscription to Just Meats, where I have several different meat products that come in the mail in a little box that basically has dry ice, and so it can keep, and it's kind of one of those meal delivery services, but it's just focusing on the meat part. So I had some of those and I wanted to be able to use those on the road, so I loaded up the freezer and now it's time to try. I don't know how this is gonna work. I usually cook stuff like this in my base camp with a full setup, but can I cook it on the road? We're about to find out. Okay, so this is my plan. I'm gonna set up my camping stove here on my table and I'm gonna hope for the best. This shouldn't be terrible. This part, I've done this many times. This is not the hard part. The hard part is figuring out how exactly to make this dish work using only one pan. I think I can do it. I really do think I can do it. So here it goes, camping stove, check. The first part of this is super simple. I have this, I already have butane in it, and so I just lock it into place. That part's super simple. But then I need to get my deep pot ready. And I store things in here, including my spices, so I need to take all of those out. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make this in this little pan, and then I'm going to add in some rice that I just need to heat up, and that should do the trick for what I'm looking for. Okay, now we're ready for the fun part. The fun part is inside this little container right here. This is Just Meats. It comes in these little packages like this. This is the Hawaiian Beef Teriyaki right here. Everything is pre-portioned, and all you have to do is remove the little outlying band, which I already have done, and then open it up, and inside there are two things. There is the Just sauce, which is our sauce that we're going to use, and the meat itself. Now these are pretty easy. You just basically preheat and then you peel back and then you cook this, which means that these are already fully ready for us to use. All we have to do is just zhuzh them up just a little. It's gonna be fun. Now, all together, there are 4 servings. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook all 4 and then just put the rest of them in my refrigerator, and I can always heat them up later or have them for lunch tomorrow. So I know I'm not gonna eat all of this tonight for dinner, but this is going to be awesome. It's a little warm today, so I have one of the doors open. I may open up the other one. We'll see. We'll see. Now, I mentioned rice. What kind of rice? I'm using this Ben's Original. It's the coconut jasmine. I'm excited about it. I think this will be delightful. It'll just be a really easy way for me to have something that has a carb. I could also use like various noodles and things like that with this, but today I was just feeling the rice, and this is going to store very well if I have leftovers. First off, I can pour this inside, and oops, I left my spoon in here. This is what I'm going to stir everything with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pour this inside, and then I'm going to break it out of the little clumps that it's in, and that way it can cook more evenly. Some of these are kind of stuck. I should have squished the packet beforehand. Next up, I take out the beef, and it's pretty sealed in here, so it was definitely trying to make itself nice and safe. I made it in, and just even smelling it, it smells good. It's marinated already. It smells fabulous, and it's all just in there. So all I have to do now is just put it in the Ridge Monkey. So like this, it just goes in, and it's been frozen, so it's kind of stuck together, but it is shredded nicely. Oh, this is gonna be delightful. Okay, it's time to light the fire. And there we go. I'm well ventilated. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it down just a little bit. I'm gonna stir everything so it can be nice and even in there. And then I'm gonna close the lid. That's the beauty of the Ridge Monkey. It cooks a lot more evenly if the lid is closed. And now we wait. I'm gonna wait about 3 or 4 minutes, And then I'm going to take it and shake it, and then I'll stir it, and then we'll see what everything's looking like. It's definitely crackling and popping though, so it is going good. Now, being able to prepare all sorts of different foods on the road has been just something that has been so delightful, because when I first started out, I had very limited means as to how I would prepare things. I was traveling in a car and tent camping. And so if it couldn't be cooked on that tiny little propane stove, it wasn't getting cooked. I would either do that or have a mountain house, and that would be it. But now there's so many more options because I do have more space. And because of that, I've been experimenting with different things. Traveling with Riley, we experimented with the Omnia. Traveling solo, I've done all the different Ridge Monkeys. Now I have the air fryer. There's just so many cool things. Not to mention I can cook while I'm going down the road with the Road Pro. And I think that that's the best thing about traveling the way that I do. But finding ways to be more efficient, even with the refrigerator and the freezer, has been even better, because then I can find the things on the specials or the deals, and then I can put them in the freezer, and then I can keep them longer. Or I can keep more meat items, which meat is traditionally way more expensive, especially whenever you're traveling from place to place. So this is nice. This is nice to be able to use the Just Meats, but also to be able to use the freezer just in general to create this. I've been gone for a few days now, and if I were to go and pick something like this up, it would be like easily $10 to $12 for a very small amount. And then I'd have to cook it up immediately and use it. However, with this, I was able to get it at my base camp and then use it on the road as I felt like I should. For example, in my freezer, I also have other things that are like larger items that I clearly can't eat in one setting. So like I bought a bag of French fries. Those French fries are gonna last me a bit, because I don't eat French fries all the time, and I certainly can't eat a whole bag of them. But having the access to the freezer, it's allowed me to keep them and use them whenever I need them, versus having to go buy a small bag each time and then eat possibly more than I want to. And so this way nothing goes bad. I can freeze it. And if I happen to cook something that there is too much of that I don't want to eat again, I can put it in one of my little reusable Ziploc bags, and I can post it up into my freezer, and then I can have it on another day heated up in the Road Pro. So that's been very handy to figure all this out. It is getting warm in here cooking though, so I may end up venting just a little bit more because it's kind of hot. It's kind of hot. Oh, that instantly made it better just right there. Being said, it is now time for me to look inside. Not only look inside though, it is time to stir. Oh, that's looking so good. That is doing so well. Trying to get that rice nice and reconstituted with all that juice. It smells so good in here right now. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. The rice just needs like maybe like another minute or two. But let me tell you this is pretty fantastic. Oh, not having to cook meat from scratch is nice because I can just have it frozen. And then on the days whenever I do want to cook, like for example, I'm going to cook a tenderloin in the Road Pro one of these days when I'm driving a long distance. I can't eat a whole tenderloin, so I can freeze it and then I can get it back out again, or I can just put it into my refrigerator and eat it for the next meal, depending on how I'm feeling. So that's pretty cool. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your ridge monkey. Ooh, shake your ridge monkey. I may end up turning on my fans after I'm finished cooking just to kind of get all of the warmth out of the van, but also just to kind of like cool off just a little bit because it is, again, pretty warm to be cooking in the van today. But I wanted to do this instead of setting up outside because it's so bright out there right now. But I just kind of wanted to have a day at camp, so I'm okay with that. Okay, it's time for Just Sauce. This is the teriyaki marinade, and it has all of the nutrition facts on both the meat and also the sauce. That's kind of nice. So this is just like my little pouches that I have, my wanabanas. It has this little top on it that just twists off, and then I open it up and I just pour away. Ooh, hear that sizzle, sizzle. Oh, look at how yummy that looks. Beef teriyaki in less than 10 minutes. I turned that fire down to barely there now so it can just simmer. And the best part about this is I'm going to be able to just scoop it right onto my plate, let everything cool off, and then I can clean up, and it's a one-pot meal. So I really love it when I can have a one-pot meal, guys. It makes my life so much better, and I think that this just kind of goes to show that the Ridge Monkey once again reigns supreme. Yes, we love it. But also just preparing one-pot meals or having the option of preparing things in advance. Even if you're not interested in just meats, you can do things like this at your house. You can put together little packages of things and then like throw them into the freezer, and then whenever you're ready, pop them into something like this and you're ready to go. So it's not that you have to cook the whole thing from scratch every single time. And again, this might not work for everyone. This is great for if you're doing a vacation, you're a weekend warrior, you're trying to get out and just do something, but not necessarily have to go through the most. Because especially if you have those truncated timetables, nobody wants to spend most of that having to sit down and cook like you do at your house. This is 10 minutes. 10 minutes is way easier than an hour in some cases for meals. Or in this case, because it is a slow marinade, it would take hours upon hours upon hours. But instead you can do something like this, and it's really helpful. Again, if you're on the road full time though, this is something that you can do. Take one day to like maybe prepare your meals and then throw them into a freezer, and then you don't have to cook for the rest of the week, or even longer than that, depending on how big of a freezer that you have. Or pick up deals whenever you find them, like I do, and post them up in there, and then you can pull them out whenever, and you can use them for whatever cooking device. I'm going to be showing you guys some other things that I make in the air fryer that are frozen, and I think that you guys will be interested in those too. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But that's neither here nor there. I'm about to get a taste test, and I'm going to tell you how it is. And this meal altogether is 10 minutes of my time. Check, check, check. Off to the next adventure. Talk about speed and quality. Look at this, guys. Ooh, that rice, that teriyaki. What? Of course, the real test is it good? It's kind of hot. Wow, the coconut from the rice with the teriyaki from the Hawaiian Teriyaki is so good. Is every day gonna be a beef teriyaki day? No, it is not. But I hope that from this video today, you've seen that by trying something different, by trying something that was previously frozen that I just stuck in my refrigerator to thaw out, by trying something that was pre-portioned, that I was able to have an incredible dinner in 10 minutes. And I think that the key to my channel is always to get the most out of life and live life more fully. But that doesn't necessarily mean we have to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, ramen noodles, or anything like that. We can have good stuff. We just have to like shop around, pre-plan, do those things, and then try out things that are a little bit different. Again, I had these meats already from Just Meats, so I thank them for sending them for my tiny channel. But at the same time, wow, the flavor on that was delightful. It was so good, guys. It's so good. Okay, it's all ready to serve now. I'm so excited. This is going to be so good. And now all I have to do is put the rest away and clean up. We're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. Find yourself some like easier life hacks to make your life easier on the road so you don't have to struggle. You don't have to spend all your time doing the things that you don't necessarily love doing. 10 minutes. That's all it takes. Till next time. Bye.